Never mind. I think I got it. Uh, it all boiled down to one perimeter and the use of uh, different UART. I think he's using UART 7 to control his platform right here. I see there's some changes in the perimeters to the way clear to send and request to send works. Plus, he's using that serial 1 perimeter 23, which points towards this UART 7. And that comes from over here. UART 7 right here is serial 1 in Ardu, and that's the perimeter he has different. Now, yikes, I got rid of my H743 diagram. I don't know why he does that. They didn't explain it. By the way, I watched Painless 360 talk about compass placement today, GPS placement. He accidentally called a GPS module with no compass in it, a compass, like I do sometimes for all of them. When somebody that's that good does that, I mean, he's the top of the top. Then it makes me feel better. You can watch his new video today. So for some reason, it looks like he's using this right here for his RC control input. I'm suspicious that he, being a developer, has, rather than a TX16S radio in his hand for some of this stuff, he's working on a computer and controlling the platform from the computer where he can do all sorts of things we can't do. I don't know. Because this is normally where you put a telemetry radio on Ardu. It's just perfectly set up for it. It's the only UART with a clear to send request to send associated with it. The first radios that came out for Ardu, anything, rowboat, rover, plane, quad, boat, sub, tracker, the telemetry radios had to have a clear to send request to send. Well, it works faster than if you don't have it. So he's using this for his RC input. Again, I have no earthly idea why. I'm going to cycle my radio real quick. My platform real quick. She'll answer up here again. So I'm using TX6 right here. It's what's normally used for Maytech RC input, ground, 4V, UART6. UART4 is right next to it. This is so you can do MAV link through a crossfire or something else at the same time. You do CRSF through this UART. 6 pins straight across there on a crossfire nano or something. That's what I've been doing a lot of. This one's set up perfectly for a GPS/compass module. These two power up from USB, so does the voltage in the CAN bus and in the second I2C bus. All the rest of these voltages that say 5, 9 here, and the servo rail all the way up through here do not power up until you connect the flight battery. I like to go out to the field, put my platform down so it'll be level, set up my computer, hook up a USB cable, let the GPS start locking sats, and then take everything else out of the car and set it up. And then I switch to the flight battery as late in the game as possible before flight, so I don't use the battery at all, and things happen. So again, I'm not sure why he's using this. I want to use this, and that's the rub. So if we look real quick, here's his setup. Oops, guess I need to connect after I just disconnected it to cycle it. You can see right here, I'm not doing the second camera this time, but you can hear my sticks. They don't work. So let's test this theory of mine. So he's doing serial 1, which is for UART7. So I'm going to knock this back to a 2. It's default. And write it out. Now that's not going to give me what I want. If I go right back over here right now, there's going to be no joy because I have to set it up for my CRSF. So board alternate config 1, right, and serial 7. I shouldn't have knocked down that H743 information. I finesse myself every now and again because the UART6 that I'm going to use is serial 7 in Ardu. That's why I have to put serial 7 in here. And I have to change it from its not its default. He had to change it from its default 23 of RCN to -1. I'm going to change it back to 23 and write that out. Now I do have to cycle the platform again.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
And reconnect. And if my theory is right, and my understanding is correct here, I'm going to be ready to continue on with my configuration. How about that? Throw up a few switches here everywhere. How about that? Phew. So now I can go forth and use Mr. Piper's parameter list for the supposed really killer tune that is on this, and probably what He-Wing will be coming out with in the future. I wanted to kind of show you this and tell you about it because they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me diddly about how they're setting it up. I'm going to have to go through the parameter list by hand. There's some little things in here like, for instance, you remember I put the flight controller in there 180 degree out. So I'll have to tell it right there where how the flight controller is oriented. Arming rudder to arm and disarm. I like that like he does. I'm going to have to just go right straight down this list and look at what's changed from the default and make sure of them. Here's the airspeed sensors set to none, which is true. There is none on this airplane, so that's why that's away from default. But basically down in the battery, he's using some battery critical voltages, low milliamp hour things. Let's see what he's got for his fail-safe over here. He's not got the fail-safe set to be on, but he's got both a voltage fail-safe and a milliamp hour fail-safe. So I'm going to have to go through that. But now that I can get my radio calibrated as I start through this, I had already done the accelerometer calibration and had checked on the compass. Compass is in there. And had gotten down. I don't want to use 2 and 3 because I don't have them. I had gotten down to radio calibration. That's required when you change compass information like that. Not when I clicked on radio calibration. Oops. Oh well. So now I can do my radio calibration and continue on. And I've got the bulk of his perimeter list. Because I recommended that video to you and recommended his video list to you, I wanted to tell you about this little problem I had. All right. Thank you, guys.